That's actually fire. How you doing that? He's doing like some Motown jazz thing.
So what you basically you press random things confidently, and suddenly it's music.
Yeah, it's really, it's like a maze. There's so many doors.
The morning of the third day, I was just getting a couple of bits and bobs done. We booked an Airbnb to be the flat that Erin and Zach live in, and it had a policy if you check in at 3 o'clock. But we spoke to the owners and said, look, we're doing some filming, is this okay? How early can we get in? And they rushed the cleaning and made sure it was all sorted for us so we could go in at 11, which was incredible and so useful because we had a lot to get filmed in the day, and I don't think we'd have managed if we couldn't start till 3. But starting at 11 compared to 8 meant I had a bit of time in the morning to get prepared. And one of the things I did in the morning was Photoshop Sage and Clark together using pictures from their Instagram to make it just a little bit more believable to have a photo of them next to each other. And then we were driving over to the Airbnb, and I felt sick. It was like the first day that we were left completely on our own, didn't really know what was going to be there when we got there. Dan wasn't here on this day. I was just completely on my own making this film. And even though we were already used to spending all day with each other and working on this, it kind of, every day it felt kind of bigger and bigger, and to me it was like, we've already put all this much effort in, so this day has to now go perfectly, because if this goes wrong, all the other work is ruined as well, which was probably not a good attitude to have.
I just wanted to hand free.
There you go.
Oh, right, thank you.
It's nice. It's really, really nice. Look at this. Oh, wow. It's lovely. I mean, the corridors is like a asylum, but... Yeah, it's a bit banned Airbnb account. You can get anything.
Right.
Are you going to put things, well, I'll let you sort that out.
Yeah, I think there's 2 bedrooms, so I think the big one is the one we're filming, and then the other one we can dump stuff in.
Brilliant. So I think that is everything you need, but yeah, where are you going to put it?
Put it here, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go. It's just a nice spot, I guess.
Oh, yeah, perfect, perfect.
When going into the start of filming, I was scared because I was worried about my capability. But I was also excited because I've never done anything like it. So the fact I just was given the opportunity just made me feel really happy and appreciated, to be fair, because it was something fun, new, and a bit daunting.
When we got there though, the vibes were really good. I said that we wanted to start filming at 12 so people could get there from 11:30, but I would be there from 11, and everyone just turned up at 11. Everyone was so used to kind of being with each other. It's the third day that we'd spent most of the day together filming, and everyone just wanted to be there. Everyone was happy to come along and do their bit, and it was the best crew I could ask for from that regard.
So the kettle is on if anyone wants peppermint tea, but there's no milk for any other kinds of tea or coffee.
Oh, awesome.
I've got tea bags.
Oh, wow.
Well,
There's
no
loads
milk.
of different like tea bags and sachets, but there's just peppermint tea.
So would anybody like some peppermint tea?
I reckon there's probably better because that looks emptier, and that's probably going to be most likely in a shot. Like the FaceTime bit on here will probably have that in the background.
For the flat, the preparation is I used my Apple Pencil and Procreate on my iPad. I sketched everything out, going back and forth with Charlie, who directed the film, seeing what he liked, what he disliked, making sure it's perfect for him and for me, so, like making sure it was possible. because that was a really big thing. There was many things we wanted to do but was unable to do. So doing the sketches and being able to kind of see it in reality before the real day was very helpful. Gave us a proper idea as well of what we needed.
Vienna was incredible on this day. I basically sent her the Airbnb listing and said we need to make this place look like they live here. And she made annotations, she took screenshots of the photos and like drew different props onto them, sourced everything herself. It was insane. I could not have done it without her. There's so much that I had to think about and so much that I didn't get time, that the film would not be what it is without her input, because she would send me these annotated diagrams and go, oh, what do you think of this? And she'd have drawn like, put a cookbook here on the side in the kitchen, put like a fruit bowl on the table here, and I'm like, how do you even think of these things? It's perfect and it makes it look so much more believable, and I'd have just never been able to think of that kind of thing. So she brought like a huge suitcase full of everything from my house and more, and just laid it all out when we got there. What was quite nice about the layout, there was 2 bedrooms, one really nice spacious one and one smaller one which we weren't using. So we dumped all the equipment in there, set up stations to have batteries charging so we were constantly rotating, laid out all the lens cases and stuff. And then I basically sat and put the piano together and just had to think about how we were going to do things. And Vienna took care of the rest of it, and she'd put so much thought into it. She was bringing like books of piano music to put on the coffee table and like fake plants to put on the side. It was so good. I had to create a graduation photo.
Charlie, oh sorry, you. There's no doorstop, and I brought some yesterday, and I've not brought them today. And the kitchen door's on like one of those swingy things. So
That looks so good.
I like face swapped my sister's graduation picture.
Yeah, I think
That's great. No, it's fine. It works. It can go on. It can go on here or something. Oh my god.
Oh.
I'm going to have a look at what lenses we have, because I don't actually know. Because Dan for some reason said I'm not allowed to take a $4 lens home. Don't really see why. I think that's a bit unreasonable. It's 24, oh 1.5 as well. These are lovely. These are really nice.
Do you like the pen there or there?
Oh, these are
There.
not turning up back in colour.
Making the flat that we lived in, that was really challenging, to be fair. I kind of had to get in the mindset of the main character, Erin. You know, she's got a piano passion, but she's also a workaholic. You know, her job was her life. She thought it's what she wanted. So I had to kind of throw stuff in places so it'd fall naturally and see which positioning I liked. I had to kind of get into the mindset of Erin. You know, I had to sit on the sofa and get the piano sheets and the workbooks out and lay them out and picture how I would work on it. And the kitchen personally was the hardest bit for me, making it look untidy because Erin didn't have time to clean it, but also make it look lived in and not like everything was put there on purpose.
We got a whole Mozart in here for real.
I think we're going to start with when Erin comes back home after the job interview. So it's the second scene, but it's quite an important one, and it's where you find out about her. Because the opening scene's just her and Richard, and then you kind of see that.
Where you want your tissues.
You pick. So we've got that. I've got a load of. I'll show you. Anthony. This is what I was doing this morning. Was printing off a load of pictures and making a little memory box. Look at these little photos. That. I'm quite happy
really
with it.
good.
That's my sister Sally with Sage's face like AI swapped onto it, which is great. These are just random pictures that I printed off and edited in Lightroom. Yeah, you're doing a good job, man. Keep it up, keep it up.
Just trying to record, bro.
Keep it up. Yeah, you're doing a great job. You're doing a really good job, man. Yeah, no, nice. I like it.
I think I've got a good angle here, to be honest.
I like it. Yeah. No. It's really good stuff. Yeah, good stuff, man.
I really enjoyed being on set. I think every day it was very entertaining. I was so upset I couldn't make the last day of filming because it was just so fun. Like, even when we were doing quite serious scenes and rushing to get things done, it was still so entertaining and so funny. I think the whole atmosphere, it was such a fun time. Everyone got on so well and it made it so much more enjoyable than it would have been if, like, while it was still professional, we all still joked around and had fun, and it made it such a great experience. I think even when we watched back some of the behind the scenes footage and some of the shots, like, watching it is great. There's so many moments in the film which are so serious but I can't take seriously because I know exactly, so many random moments, I know exactly what happened behind the scenes at that stage, which just made it so funny and so entertaining to watch and be involved in, and I'm very glad I got to be a part of it.
Yeah, Erin enters the flat, locking the door behind her. It's a small, cosy space. Okay. There's a photo on the wall showing her and her partner Zach. I'll do an insert of that. That's there now. Erin looks at the photo, checks her watch, walks into the kitchen. Oh, fuck, I didn't bring the calendar. I was supposed to bring a calendar.
Do you think there'll be one in Poundland?
Yeah,
Yeah, do you want someone to go and buy one?
Could someone run and grab one?
Do you want to go with him and film and buy a calendar?
Yeah, if you want. I just want to have the interview circled so it shows you, like, prepared for it. Oh, yeah. The only thing that went wrong with the setup was I'd forgotten to bring a bottle of wine and a calendar, so I had to send Sam on a quest to go and pick up a calendar and a bottle of wine, a quest that involved him getting banned from Savers because Anthony, who's filmed all the behind the scenes footage that you're seeing, is 18 but looks 14 and did not have any ID on him. So me and Eloise and Sage stayed at the flat and we started filming the scene where she gets home after the job interview and just kind of avoided the kitchen stuff because that was what needed the calendar and the wine. And we got to the end of that scene and we were thinking, like, where are they? What's going on? Like, didn't know that they had to try like 4 different shops to get what they needed, but they came back with wine, Ribena to replace the wine, and a calendar, which was great.
They've got a
We'll go, but there's one
Yeah,
there,
but no sauce,
and then
they've
you
got
have
like
text
one
me.
place.
If there's a dirt cheap bottle of wine and then like a bottle, you don't. I can go with you.
Okay, that's fine.
Do you want to come as well then?
I mean, I could text my parents and get them to bring that, but if you get like that and then
I'll get
like some Ribena and then she can just pour a glass of whatever, and then
Ribena
there's,
would work.
there's a load of that.
Well, yeah,
If-
you
as
can
long as
see that it's a Ribena bottle, so
It's the keys.
Oh. You can unlock and lock it from the inside.
One of the days of filming, we had to go purchase alcohol for one of the scenes because we didn't have any and nothing we had was convincing enough. So me and some other crew members, we all went David to go buy some alcohol. But when we got there, I didn't have any ID on me, and it looked like Sam was trying to buy it for me and I looked underage or something.
I thought it'd go fine, but it didn't. I went to the shop essentially under the Airbnb and went in with Tony and Amelia and my girlfriend, and you know, I thought perhaps it would be best if they stayed outside whilst I went in because they didn't have their IDs with them, but Tony came with me with his camera and followed me in, and I got to the counter with the cheap wine and essentially was turned away because they thought I was trying to buy it for Tony and he didn't have any ID with him, and they wrote down a short description of me, and thereby I was blacklisted from Savers. So
They wrote his name down on a little list of his description stuff so they know if he comes back again, so I don't think he can ever go into Savers ever again. I think he's eternally banned from Savers because of me, and I have no remorse at all.
They probably got. Is that actually the last here?
I'm not sure. Sorry. No calendars.
It's Poundland. Why are there no calendars?
What are we doing?
Calendar. Do they have one?
We're buying Ribena.
Yeah. And then I can buy something for literally £2. Perfect.
I'll just buy these separately if you guys go first.
We'll ask as well if I've missed wherever the calendars are. I'll just ask if they sell calendars. It's 1 o'clock. Sorry, we got refused purchase.
Yeah, I got some stuff,
Tony
but
was
a lot.
next to me and they thought I was buying this for an underage person, so I had to go somewhere else. It's fine, it's okay.
Thank you so much.
That goes in there.
And then we found a calendar.
I think he's buying it.
I mean, yeah, they didn't know that though, did they?
The oldest there.
They didn't know that.
We got some glasses too.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, sorry we took so fucking long.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Well, I thought you got lots.
Thank you. Well,
No, we just got refused and then nowhere sold calendars and it was just.
everything has to be blue tacked and it's going to be very unstable. But, you know, if only we could drill hooks in the walls.
It does look quite nice down as well when you have the door shut.
I know, because me and Louise have been on the counter trying to put blackout up.
What are they?
Just, blackout paper.
Paper. I thought it was bin bags at first.
Now, having already had 2 days of experience filming a film, I kind of had a bit of a better idea of how things were going to play out during the day. So I didn't stick to the schedule as rigidly because I'd made the schedule weeks in advance just by looking at the paper and going, this scene's in this place, we could do that here. But now I'd had the experience of filming each scene, knowing how long it takes, knowing how it feels doing each one. I kind of readjusted it to make sure that we were suiting the weight of each scene, to make sure that Clark and Sage weren't having too much of a difficult time, because there's a lot of quite heavy and serious acting in it for them to have had to do. So it kind of makes sense to make sure that they get a break and can get into the right headspace to then do this serious scene and then have a little bit of light-hearted stuff before the next one. So we put up like blackout paper in the kitchen. We filmed some of the night stuff at the beginning of the day just to kind of make sure we were still getting stuff done while putting off the more serious scenes.
Clark has been and gone to get food because I put his call time at 1 because I was like, we'll easily film 3 scenes in an hour, and we didn't start until 12:30.
So is it going well then, Charlie?
Not really.
How come?
It'll be fun. Everyone's spirits are high. Everyone kind of seems like they want to be here. So the fact that we've not got enough done in the time we've had so far doesn't matter, because everyone will be so willing to stay until midnight. Because I booked this Airbnb for the night, so we will be here all night if we're not done.
Clark's outside.
Leading up to filming was exciting, nerve-wracking, just because of the pressure of it. The whole cameras and stuff is something I had personally never done before. I do act and stuff outside, but I don't really do it in front of the cameras and with like takes and angles and stuff. So that was exciting to get onto that, but nerve-wracking because of those reasons. But to meet the new people was really exciting, and to work with them was such a breeze. But yeah, it was exciting and nerve-wracking in ways, but no, overall very, very exciting to see what was coming and what was going to happen. Was yeah. Is this like everyone on the board?
No, it's like a small crew. Although there's actually quite a few of us. How many are there?
I don't know. And you're all doing what? Film studies?
Yeah. Besides.
What, you just bring the displays out?
Yeah. Charlie. Sorry.
This is so nice.
It is really nice. I had no idea it was even here. And this is the living room. I panicked.
Oh wow.
You realise because you've never met Sage, there wasn't a photo, so I had to get one of your Instagram and Photoshop it together.
No, that's heat. That's
It looks
heat.
great. It looks great.
That's it. I rate that. I rate that.
You are wearing sunglasses in the kitchen, and you should not be
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, this is Sage.
Hi.
What was it like filming with a cast I'd never met? It was interesting, but like I said, a lot of this stuff I've never done, so to do it with new people felt right. I wouldn't want to do it with people I already knew. I think it was cool. I think it was good to have, like, to not know them beforehand. I think that was really important, and I think it just helped so much more. Like if you knew someone off stage or off screen, to then do acting with them can be difficult. So to do it with like fresh new people, I think is so much easier, and it's like a bit more of a breath of fresh air, really. So Sage, who was Erin, was really nice, and I spoke to her straight away as soon as I walked in, and we clicked instantly, and it was really easy to work with her. And so even though we just met, it felt easy and nice, and we could do the scenes as convincingly as possible together, despite meeting for the first time then. So yeah, it was interesting, but exciting, and I think it was right to do that as well.
And then I've got the like finale scene, but I don't think we should do that now. Now you're here.
The page 30 to 33.
Yeah, now you're here. I think we should do that a bit later. We can do some lighter stuff first.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll finish this off. And
No
then
worries.
Decide what's happening next. Just yeah, thank you so much for coming.
No worries. No worries.
We
Make it full, or do you want it to look like she's been drinking it
It can
already?
be because she's coming back after the job interview, so it can be like leftover from last night.
Yeah, alright. That's fine.
I'm going to put the lamp off and get you to turn the main light on when you come in. And I'm going to put the bottle right here. Where did you put the glasses?
The glasses are in there, next to the
Glasses
door.
in there. Right, so this is. I move.
Just go ahead and put the.
Just sit for a minute. Go like you've just got home after like your journey back. Get out, pour the bottle around, drink like a substantial amount of the glass.
Okay.
So it's like, whoa, that was stressful. Put the glass down, and then you're off again.
Why is
for
the
other
job
one.
interview over like a week?
No, it's written.
It's
It's on
not.
Tuesday the 9th.
Just put a circle around it. Emphasis. Okay.
Yeah, so if you could just do.
Why is Sam yelling? How
I quite like.
for
I
them
really
to
like
have a conversation on a group
It's
chat?
just like the whole.
Damn it!
Why sing again?
That's all good. First scene of the day done.
Now, the FaceTime scene that I mentioned on the first day, we filmed the other end of it here in the flat. So we had a video of Julie reading the lines and performing the scene, which we'd filmed a few days before, and I'd sat off camera and read out Erin and Zach's lines while she responded to them. And then I muted my voice in the video and had that play on the laptop in the flat, which was something that worked and looks seamless in the film, but was quite difficult to actually shoot on the day because the pacing of me reading the lines wasn't the same as how Sage and Clark were reading the lines. So one time we went through and Julie would cut them off, which obviously doesn't work in terms of the natural flowing conversation. But what ended up happening most of the time was there'd be long pauses. They would say their lines and then there'd be a long pause before Julie then said her next line, which made it a bit disjointed to film, a bit uncomfortable at times because it was very kind of awkward. They say their lines and they're like laughing and having this conversation, and then there's like 3 seconds of silence before it then carries on. But because we filmed a lot of coverage of the scene, we had a close-up on each of them and an over the shoulder of the laptop. In the editing, I could cut between the shots, and every time the angle changes, you're often jumping forward in time to get rid of the silences.
It may be a bit stop-start if there's too much silence. It's fine because I can just cut to. We'll do this same scene a couple times from different angles, and then I can cut silences out. So.
Oh, he's terrible, you know, Erin. He won't come.
Leave him, Mum. It's fine. Hi, Dad. Hope you're okay.
Cut.
That's alright, just call it rehearsal.
Yeah.
Oh my
the,
god, my
the
arm.
timing's a bit off. The silences are fine because I can go between angles. Can you remember which bit it was where there wasn't enough time? Or not?
Oh, you were talking
It was
about
the bit
the
where
book.
it was the books. It was
Yeah.
she says, I know, and you work so hard. It was Zach's line before that.
I said I don't work there anymore, and it was like, wow.
So it's
£9 for the paperback. $16.99. Oh, and I said, I'm not paying that. I'll get it from the library for free. Sorry, Zach.
No, it's fine. Not a Waterstones any longer anyway.
Well, I know that, but...
It costs money to print books, you know, to say nothing of what it takes to sell them.
Well, I know, love, I know.
It's okay.
so that is time.
Yeah.
Do you want me to add more to that or not?
I think it's okay. I'll just.
That's fine. We'll run that again. I'm not gonna squat down.
Do you want to sit on this?
Yes, please.
After you serve.
After I start. Oh, wait,
After this one, and then
Yes.
you walk out. I think.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Kind of Erin let slip that she's got more responsibility, and Zach's obviously not happy with that because she's already working late hours. So he just gets up and like leaves the room. He's like, no, I'm not doing this. And then the point is, it's supposed to kind of feel tense because he's just stormed out on her. But then she's there on that, like, oh, I can't see, where's it gone? God, the internet's not working, is it? It's like a bit of funny mixed in with it.
It's fine, Mum, honestly, leave him be. So, let me tell you the news.
Oh, you haven't, have you? Have you, Zach? Have you gone and without telling us?
Cut. That was very good. That was, yeah, I'm
How
happy
did
with that.
the walking out look?
Good. That was good timing.
Sound-wise, that was great as well. It was...
Yeah, there's a bit of silences. I would like to run the scene on a close-up view and then close-up view, and then when there's kind of silence that's too long, I can cut angle and jump forward a slight bit, and it should look natural. And then we don't have to worry about the timing because it's hard to get right, and I couldn't have someone ready to like actually FaceTime at the right time. But I'm happy with the wide shot, and that time is good. So same again, please, if that's okay.
My favourite scene to film was the one on the sofa with the Erin, the main character, calling her mum on the laptop. That was my favourite scene, just because of all the angles and the fact that the people on the set were watching us do it, and it was the first one I had done. It was the first one I'd done, so it was like exciting to get onto it and do it. But the angles of it and the lines, and to do it over and over for different takes and stuff, didn't feel like it was like a job. It felt really fun to do, really exciting to do. But yeah, it was definitely my favourite scene, just because of the variety of it and the angles that we had to do and how many times we had to do it. It was so in my head, and because it was my first one, it was like different sort of feeling, because it was like exciting to get on and do it. But yeah, definitely that one, the one on the phone for sure.
I might follow as he goes out as well.
Yeah, give that a go. You got the other one perfectly anyway, so if this one doesn't look good, you have to do it again.
Yeah, it's just the focus pulled towards at the same time.
Cool.
So yeah, we'll give that a go.
He managed to find an extra hour in each day, or an extra day in each week.
What's he saying, love? I can't hear him. I said I can't hear you, Zach. Oh, I can't see him now. Where's he gone?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm not. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's great.
Yeah.
So we do close up on you, and then if you can bear to sit through the whole thing again, like an over shoulder of the laptop screen.
Okay.
I know it's an annoying scene to film coverage of because there's a lot.
It's the same price everywhere, Mum.
Well, I don't understand these things anyway. I don't have to pay at the library.
Cut.
The majority of that was fantastic, but maybe pick up from just as the argument begins, because obviously the fucking car.
There was one drove past blaring music, and then a car alarm went off, and then a dog started barking.
Was the music really bad?
Hearing. I said I can't hear you, Zach. Oh dear, never mind. You must be so busy, both of you. How's the bookshop, Zach?
Thank you.
The hands and her head in her hands is actually really good.
It's really good. Your all your gestures get so well.
That was really
They
good.
get picked really well on this angle.
Some woman screaming outside. It's always that end bit.
It's fine.
The Airbnb, the entire day of that and into the evening of that was a different kind of environment that I thought would be more awkward than it was. I'd never met Clark before, which is the main character's boyfriend. That entire day was, it was just really fun. The jokes that happened on set that day were some of my favourites. Like the funniest moments in the behind the scenes footage for me come from that day.
The atmosphere on set was very, very welcoming, very nice. Just because, like I said, for me, something I've never done, to walk in and to be like cameras, and everyone's got a camera, everyone's got like a microphone or something, and obviously if it's people you don't know, it's like kind of scary. But no, to walk in and everyone be so nice, everyone be so welcoming. Overall on the set was really good, and the atmosphere, we knew when we wanted to get a scene done, we knew how we would all lock in and do it and get on with the jobs that we needed to do. But when it was the breaks and having food and stuff, it was a really nice, welcoming environment to be in. So yeah, really nice atmosphere on set to work and to also have fun with it, which I think is really important.
And then after that, there's like a pause, and you could even like close that and put it on the side as if you're making it up completely. And then it's the same bit with the chorus, which that bit's gonna have to do the track anyway, so we can wait and do that.
Okay.
So we'll cut to that bit. Are you fine just to give it a go? If everyone could kind of be behind me here, I will.
That's just in the loop, so I'll knock on the door when you're done shooting this take.
Okay. Because I'm gonna try and move around the room and stay kind of quite organically.
That's fine. We'll hide around the corner then.
I was kind of zooming in and out a bit.
Makes it look kind of. The zooms they're alright, but they make it kind of look like The Office.
Okay. I might try. Yeah, I'll not.
Handheld is great, but it's just
I
like
won't zoom there.
when it's on the face, it makes it look a little bit more informal, like you're trying to like catch an expression as if you're like
Yeah,
paparazzi person.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. So
No, I get that. Yeah. Right.
The piano scene in the flat, this is like an important moment. This is an important moment for Erin, and I was so nervous to do it. So it's basically the part where she like rediscovers her love for music, and I love music. As someone who loves music, it was great to like be able to play a character who has the same love for music, who has this connection with music. And the only thing is, I don't play an instrument, so the piano, learning the piano bit, Charlie like sent me a video of him playing it, and I learnt like the first bit, and I couldn't get it after that, but we worked around it. And it's just like I say, it was such an important scene, and I was just hoping that I could deliver and that I could make it seem genuine.
She got the role of Erin because she was brilliant at everything bar playing the piano, which I said was fine because I could not expect someone to have learnt the music that I wrote for it. It's at times quite difficult music, especially for someone who isn't a musician. So she spent a lot of time practicing it, and we went over different bits and tried to get it as convincing as possible. But eventually we settled to have her mime along to a track. And then what happened was, in the editing, I sat just here, had the take of stage playing on there, and I've played the audio and mimed it up to her fingers, and hopefully it isn't too noticeable.
It's alright, but they're either way too sticky.
And it's the same again, but with the whole chord. Sorry. And then this is a bit extra. Same again. And then that's all you have to play.
I did while she was showing her. I was like, this is actually perfect for the behind the scenes, so I made them shut off because I wanted to.
So it was really cool because it was
That's
like
it.
you from the back playing the whole thing.
But it's going to be funny because the bit tomorrow I also wrote, but I can't play that. I went, let's do a run from this note to this note, type it in the computer. I didn't. Computer, play the music. Have you heard the one for tomorrow, Anthony?
I'm not.
Have a listen to this. It's
Fucking crazy.
It's basically it's the same melody as this. It's the same kind of motif. The Lydian like 12/8 type beats.
Yeah.
But it's like the most like the peak of the film. So it's got to go absolutely crazy.
He's out of his noggin. He's out of his mind.
Listen to this.
Listen. That sounds really cool.
And then it's going to be you on your own, spotlight on, like fog all around, like wide shots and stuff. So we'll work out the shots and it'll be fine. And then
sorry, you got me doing that on your own.
and then it's fine. It's fine. You come in and you go. And then
That's fun.
yeah, that's fine. So that's the hardest bit done. I mean, yeah, that's the hardest bit done.
Sound.
And action. Thank you. Lovely. Right. Let's go in here. Oh.
Move the papers off the table.
Erin gets home from work and her script is waiting for her. Is this
This is me.
Oh, there's still the bubbles of
I only have one line in this,
It's
right?
a bit murky. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
How
you're,
was it?
You're holding the wine glasses and she walks in, you give her one and you're like, hey, how was it? And she's like, yeah, good. Did that just...
You're sacked. That's crazy. New person for the job.
I'll
Oh my
reimburse him 10k.
We're going to have to film the entire film again with someone else. We're going to have to film the whole film again. My dad's going to have to play every part.
Captions it, yeah. Oh,
Like,
that is damage limitation. I wouldn't
That's
have
awful.
that.
That's awful.
Oh, but who bought them?
Okay. Right.
Well then,
I said
that's
what?
not my problem. I
said-
don't think Sam's gonna take them home and use them anyway.
Right, so I'm taking wine glasses out here.
Out here, and then you're kind of, there's no audio for
I'm
this,
not
but
drinking it.
you're kind of, yeah, you're enthusiastic, but you've worked late and you go straight past him and you just kind of look down the corridor at her and like in despair.
Well,
Not despair,
I mean-
bit disheartened, not like
No! Okay. We were gonna have watered down Ribena together and she's gonna spill it all over herself.
But can you come out when I say
Oh.
I just
How
how
many
many got
are
rich
out?
from that
With
plastic
two
cup as
glasses?
well.
Cut. That was really good. Can we do that one more time? Because drifted out of focus.
Rowan Speedy!
Yeah, I didn't get
She's
That was good though, because otherwise you're sat like waiting there for us to get outside.
This is what she did with the when we did that tracking shot the first day. She went, "I'll be
Oh
quite
my
slow
God.
because I'm in heels," and then sprinted, and neither of us expected. We went
you haven't
running
seen the
after
running
her.
shot.
I
There's a
didn't.
bit-
She runs.
Action. Cut. That was great. That was really good. I'm gonna, if you take a step back, you can still see her there, but you can't be seen on camera from there.
Okay.
So you can.
Can I come out straight away?
Yeah. Okay. Are you going?
It's just hang on. Okay. Sound.
Action.
Oh, started to lay some things out for the weekend.
Weekend?
We're visiting my parents, remember? Had it booked for ages.
No, I can't.
Is off.
That one is
It goes into like. That's coming up if you want to be double checking that. That's how that one ends. Into this.
What tune?
Stop, because I'm gonna cry.
Sorry.
Just no. Make a midday decision. There you go.
Okay. Sound.
Yep. And action. When Erin is kind of established at the job, and her friends start messaging on their group chat, and they're organising to go out, and everyone's free, and she's got loads of work to do, and she's kind of putting off trying to apply. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is going to be great. We're going to see each other," and it just puts even more pressure on her from work because she has to say no, but doesn't want to have to say no.
You know, I was just around to offer any kind of thoughts or opinions on what he was doing. And then especially the day in the Airbnb, when we were doing the scenes at the house where the main character lives, for the harder scenes that he did ask me for more help with, we would essentially just sit or stand there together and discuss ideas and just imagine things with the angles that we could work with, and it was very easy. You know, it was just talking to a friend about a project that we're both passionate about, and him especially. I mean, obviously he was very locked in during the entire process, but it was still him, you know, so it was still easy to talk to him.
Working together as crew, I think, was so easy because all of us knew each other beforehand and we'd all worked on projects together. We all got on really well, we're all close friends, so it made it so much easier to work together, and it's what made the experience so enjoyable. Because everyone got on so well, everyone, like, we joked together, it made what should have been like quite a stressful experience so comforting and so entertaining the whole time. I think it also made it easier for the actors and everyone who hadn't met each other before, like Sage and Clark, because everyone else was just so comfortable and so chilled out that it made what could have been quite a stressful and confusing experience being on set just seem so like relaxed and so funny. And I think it definitely reflects in how quickly they fit into the group as well. Working with Charlie was great. He was so organised, and again that made the whole thing so easy for us. But I would definitely do it again, it was very fun.
I think the next thing we can film while the light is like this is going to be the scene.
So I was so nervous.
Are you good?
The like breakdown. It's the like
Sure.
argument.
Wait.
You guys argue.
Not
yeah,
really.
that's really. Oh,
Well,
I need to go get scared.
Yes, it's your... Right, Sam, can we have a little think about how we're going to film this? Because this is like the most important one.
Yeah.
So this is like these are all like T1.5 grams, so these are nice lenses.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a 50, 35 and a 24 of these, and then I have a 16 to 35, so like a really wide but also zooms in to like a medium shot.
Yeah.
She comes back, the camera follows her to her desk, she picks up her belongings, leaves the exit door, shuts the door behind her, and I just lingered on like a media capital poster with the door shut behind her. And then it cuts to the hallway, and she comes in, and then yeah, it needs to be maybe like a wider the hallway on a tripod, and she walks in past the camera, walks into here, and Zach's maybe on the sofa. Then he says, someone's early.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's gone. She's just
There's
stormed
not a
that
whole lot else we could do than track it. That's fine. We'll track a shot.
I don't want to do like a gimbal tracking shot because it's ended on like.
Do you have a gimbal?
Follow. I do. I haven't used it yet. We'll probably use it at some point in here.
If it didn't end on a gimbal shot at work.
It wasn't a gimbal shot, but it was close enough. It was a handheld, but the same kind of shots I was getting on the gimbals. So I think if it's moved, it goes all the way across the office and follows her out the door, stops on the door. Yeah. I think then if it cuts and it's her in the flat and it's following her down the hall, I think that'll look a bit jarring.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so tripod in the hallway, she walks in past it, then shot in here, maybe following her down like that, and then...
I mean, working out scenes with him wasn't... I didn't do a whole lot, or at least I didn't feel like I did a whole lot. He already had the majority of the idea in his head, so really all I was doing was maybe pushing a little bit, or reassuring him that his idea was good, rather than giving him new ones.
Sam was just an incredible help because I knew that this scene had to be right. I knew this scene was so integral to the story, and I knew that it needed to be perfect, but at the same time it's such a difficult scene to perform from an acting point of view. It's a long portion of dialogue, there's a lot for them to remember, and it's a lot of quite heavy kind of concentration needed, and I had to kind of get a balance there. I didn't want them to have to do very many takes, so it meant there was a lot of discussion between me and Sam, thinking, how do we do this? Do we do a one shot? How do we get this sorted? And having him there was incredible because he would just say, how about we do this? Or I'd say, what do you think of this? And he'd kind of add a whole layer of meaning to it and just kind of reinforce the ideas, which was so useful for my kind of headspace more than anything. But it also meant that we had a setup that we knew worked, we knew looked nice, and we knew we could let Sage and Clark do their thing and make it happen, which they were incredible at. And I think we only did about 2 takes of the scene because they were just on it, they nailed it, and they were exactly what I wanted and more in terms of portraying the scene.
In through the hall, into the kitchen, pours a drink, and then there's like a quiet moment by itself.
I think...
And then she comes in here, and then it's follow her in, whip pan to Zach, because someone's early. Like,
what if Zach hears her come in, and while she's on the way to the kitchen, he's saying someone's early, she shouts not now, or she just says not now on her way into the kitchen. Because he'll hear her come in. Because that way it's not going to be like he just activates once she comes into the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have him like look down the hallway.
That's what I mean.
Lean back and then.
I know it's a bit more
so
work.
It's the thing is,
yeah.
It's written to do in the kitchen, but I think I want to do it here because it's much nicer space.
Do the majority of it in here.
So,
but just for the first bit, when she pours herself a shaky drink, have him just like.
Yeah, have him lean
say
back.
Something when she comes in.
Should we not see him then? Should we follow Erin into the kitchen and we just hear him from the other room?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't even see him until that's good. I like that.
Okay. Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But after she's done that, she goes, I said not now, and she's like, actually, like, this is the first time she really shouts, and the only time she does it in the film. So she does that, and then that kind of shuts him up.
Right.
So then he's more like, so then when she comes in here, he's like, do you want to tell me about it?
Right.
They're
Okay.
more
Yeah.
that, and
so he never has to be like crazy, like.
No.
The breakdown scene in the film was by far the biggest and probably the most important scene of all of them. And I definitely was checking on the lines before this one just so I can get the character as best it could possibly be. And it's a real big turning point in the film with Erin going through something and finally making those feelings heard to Zach in quite a loud, emotional way. It was probably my second favourite scene of all of them, but I liked it because it was so specific on what people in the set wanted. So it would be change this, and it made sure it was as good as it could be, because again the angles and getting it all perfect and having those moments again with Sage off screen and on screen talking with her like, I think we should do this and had those moments together made it feel and run a bit more smoothly. which again helped the scene be so much more convincing, which is what we want at the end of the day. But yeah, I did really enjoy that scene. It was very nerve-wracking because it was a very big scene, and obviously I was nervous and I wanted to get all my lines right and everything, but it all went fine and it all went really well. But yeah, I did really like that scene and I enjoyed filming it, and I'm really, really looking forward to see how it turns out.
And action.
Someone's early.
Not now, Zach.
It's still daylight outside. You should be at work still.
I said not now.
Cut.
I mean, that's fantastic.
That's brilliant.
No, that's great.
That's really, really good.
Sound-wise, was that alright?
Yeah, that was okay. Do you want to listen to it?
Yeah. That wasn't,
Gotta have
that
to
wasn't the
listen to that.
surest one.
Just to be pre-thinking about the bit afterwards where they have the actual thing in here.
Yeah.
What do you think about like a wide lens close up? Does that feel more like because all the shots are like kind of this so far? Is it like if Anthony's there like looking at her, does that feel like a interesting way of doing it?
I don't know if it'll break up the flow too much.
We'll have to experiment when they're in here. But just as an idea.
I said not now.
Cut.
Oh my god.
What?
No, it just looks so cool. And her hand's so shaky, but it.
How was it's daylight outside thing? Because it would have been cut off by the door shutting.
It's fine.
Did it
sounds
sound
fine? And we've got.
It was cut off, but we've got the recording from it outside, so it should be okay.
So, because how you did it there, it was like almost a cry, but not full out like bawling.
Yeah. It's just if you wanted like tears, then like I can fake cry without the tears. It's gonna look weird.
I'd go do that and stand up,
So sit down here and then stand up here.
and then
if
sit down in this long pause here.
Okay.
But they're the best. That works. Sit down in that pause, and then on that bit, lean back and like you head on the back of the sofa,
Yeah.
and then that's where we'll cut to you actually cry.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna have a look at how I can get. Wonderful. Thank you. I might go right there, Sam. Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
Sound.
Action.
Do you want to tell me about it?
Where to begin?
This isn't good for you, Erin. This isn't good.
If I talk to you, if I tell you all about it, I might never stop.
The places that are less toxic than MC.
Cut. I'm going to cut before we get too frank because of that stamping upstairs.
Oh yeah.
That was very good. I'm just
Was that
conscious.
the right bit though?
I'm blind.
Sorry.
I won't
That
lie.
wasn't the right bit though, was it?
So, if I talk to you, I'll never stop.
Like,
He says, come and sit down, and then he goes, calm down, Aaron. You're a bundle of nerves.
Yes.
I've never seen you like this before. Is it work? Did something
Oh,
happen?
it's.
It's alright, they'll get it.
And then you.
No, I'm confident in it.
That's what I'm saying. It's just
not-
grab a drink.
This is
Do you want a
that,
drink?
that line.
That isn't wine.
I've got.
Alright.
No, we've got tea. It's just.
I've had tea and
Surely it's cold.
tea and cold tea and wine all day.
Do you not want just some water?
Ella, do you want a drink?
Good.
I'm okay.
Don't. Oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
What is that actually?
And
what?
you know it's fine to look up for that.
No, they
That can't be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I won't worry about the bit after.
Do you want a glass of water?
She doesn't say anything.
I just asked Charlie if he needed water.
Sorry, I thought my shouting has peaked that.
Shaking, or is it like,
So I said,
Erin, I've
Oh,
never seen
no.
that unless you're a
I think I
bundle
said
of
don't
nerves.
because
Is
he
it
drank the
work?
cold
Something
tea and then went to pick up the wine
Right,
again.
I
Something
thought I
happened.
peaked your microphone, so
No,
that's why I was
it's
saying
not
sorry.
something don't worry.
I thought I was going to ask.
And not
That's
today, and not yesterday.
If you mess up or skip a line or something, like if you slip over like a word but you improvise and it works, then that's fine. If you like miss out a line and it's obvious that it's not going to happen how it does here, just like stop yourselves, because I don't want you to run through the entire scene and do all this heavy stuff and then have to do it again and not ever even be usable.
Why don't you stop them? Because they might think they got it wrong when they didn't.
I was going to say, I think if you have an eye on the script,
okay.
Can she come in and start taking off
Can
her
you do
heels
that?
or something?
Oh, yeah, no.
So-
Thank you.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking, because they might be too nervous and stop themselves when they shouldn't. And stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Could she come in and like take off her heels as she's talking to him, so that she does not have to?
Yeah.
She
Or when
stumbling
you know when
on
you
them.
kind of perched on the end there, you could do
Yeah,
it.
that's what
you
I
could do
mean.
it then.
Okay.
She can like kind of start
Yeah.
kicking them off.
that aren't as toxic as MC. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so
It's
sorry.
okay, because I think someone.
What did I jump?
It was the wrong job.
It sounds like you're in the wrong job.
Oh,
I was
Yeah.
trying to signal
Sorry,
anyways
guys.
because I think someone ran upstairs or
Yeah,
something
there
and I
was
just
Yeah.
heard tons
Yeah.
of thudding.
I thought maybe it would work, but yeah, no.
so it's wrong job.
Yeah,
and
someone
then
keeps
it's
running
that one.
around upstairs.
Then it's.
I think you're in the wrong job. Then I have a
Then
long
yeah.
speech. The last thing I say is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you just hear
It
like.
could. There is a lot of like kind of ambience in there anyway. You could probably get away with bringing the levels down a little bit.
Yeah,
And then I'll try and voice isolate them.
that's fine.
But-
There was also a car as well at the same time.
Yeah.
Is it work? Did something happen? Yeah, it's work, and yes, something did happen, but not today, or not particularly.
Cut.
That was fantastic.
That was
That was good.
really brilliant.
There was literally nothing that went wrong script-wise.
No,
so-
that was perfect.
There was alarms and beeping
I know,
outside, but
but
I don't think it's too bad.
It was.
That's
It was
fine.
also before the big speech. So.
Yeah.
The only thing is, it's
I
sounding.
thought I did it wrong because I cut you off, but I think it worked well.
No, that was
No,
great.
it looked good.
You wouldn't, if you were having this conversation off the top
Yeah,
of your head, you
wouldn't
wouldn't
shut
be
up
waiting
and,
for her to
yeah.
finish the line and then.
Yeah, I think that worked perfectly.
You're right. You deserve better.
Cut.
Run it once more, yeah.
You look
Is
straight
that-
at the camera. At the
No,
end.
but is that's the end, isn't it?
Yeah, but leave it for a bit.
Oh,
because
sorry, mate. My
There
bad.
was a car beeping anyways, and someone's phone went
Yeah,
off.
that's
The
done.
whole looking around and thinking thing for you was great, yeah.
Yeah, really good.
Awesome.
I think that will then, like, you know the shot where you're laid down with the blanket writing your letter, that might just like slow fade into that.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the next shot is like a similar thing, but you're relaxed and writing your resignation letter and stuff.
Okay.
That goes straight into that. Thank you so much. I'm going to do a battery swap and then we'll get on to the next thing.
There were a lot of points during production where I was essentially just sat there in awe of what was going on. Sage, the main character, I haven't met anybody close to my age who is that good at acting. So the breakdown scene, watching them was surreal, really. I was just kind of often worried. I was like, is she all right? But she was, obviously, you know, she was acting. But it still worried me. And yeah, I think all of us were just kind of sat there in awe of what was going on during the breakdown scenes.
Oh, that looks really nice. Oh shit.
Does it look okay on here, or should I get the dresser from the bedroom?
Yeah, that was good.
3, 2, 1.
I reckon
Chill out, bro.
classic wide close-ups on each, but have the close-ups like if the bed's here from the side,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so you can like tilt up as they sit up and stuff.
Yeah.
And then
Like fucking, you know, have you watched Home Alone?
yes,
You know when they wake up and it's like, we slept in.
yeah. So like tilting up on the side, and then the one of Erin, because she's getting up and scrambling, that might have to be a bit further down the bed so that we can move around.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we'll do that.
Brilliant.
I don't know what I put in the script about that, but it can be like you can pull a blazer on over that.
Because I thought you had like you know that shot that you always get of someone like hopping to put the shoe
I
on,
know,
running out
I
the
do
door,
really
like
like that shot.
kind
Maybe
of-
that's me a shoe.
Put the blazer over there.
Yeah. And then you like so.
Can you see how late I am? I cannot.
The bedroom scenes were really, really fun to film. I'm so happy with how these turned out. These look, I think, the nicest of all the shots in the film. I'm so happy with the grade. The grade of the film is kind of a kind of enhanced realism kind of style, if you could call it that. It's kind of supposed to look like real life, but just a little more stylized, a little bit more accentuated. And there's a bit of film emulation in there, a bit of grain, a bit of halation, just to kind of soften it up and make it just look slightly better than reality. And I think this comes across the best in the bedroom scenes. They're also just really fun to film because although they're quite important and quite dramatic scenes, they were nothing compared to what we'd already got done during the day. And we were filming them about 8 o'clock at night. Everyone was kind of a bit bit tired, a bit done after the day, but just having a bit of a laugh. And it's really, really nice to have the time and the space to be able to do that with everyone, and not just have to be constantly bang, 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 take, get it done.
Erin!
Shit.
Chill out, what's the rush?
Can you see how late I am?
Call in sick or something.
I cannot call in sick.
Roadworks? A flat tyre?
What? I have to go in.
Good. These scenes will be some of my favourite just for the lighting alone. I really like it.
Just like
Can I-
practicals is the best. Yeah, have a look.
He was so I'm so sorry, it was such a wacky episode.
One thing I was very happy with was an idea that we just came up with on the spot on the day. I set up a softbox light and just stood it against the wall, put it behind the blinds, draped the blinds over it, to kind of imitate the moonlight. And it was a very, very kind of lackluster setup. Not the way you would want to shoot a moonlight through a window, but on the budget we had, in the space that we had, it was the only way possible. But I think it turned out really well in the shot. I'll put some stills on the screen from the film. I think it looks really convincing.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's not gonna
go to sleep.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
I literally could, you know, that will not work.
Try it.
Let me bring it down there.
I can't. You could.
There's like a nice line down there. I think, could you just hold that there? If I just have a little like, maybe add a couple of extra cracks in.
That's actually really nice.
Yeah?
I'm not kidding, man. That's actually not
Yeah.
bad.
Right, let's do a little thing to I think that's good.
That's what I'm saying. No, it's white.
I mean, it'll be graded and it'll be a lot bluer.
Yeah, a lot of this you've got to take into account the fact that it'll grade it.
Okay.
One and then your policy.
So I'll just fall back asleep after mine. What's that?
And you're basically like eyes closed the whole time. You're like you could like stir a little bit, but you
Can you
don't
see
wake
the
up.
phone screen on it? Because it does say
It's
7.
a different time of day.
I don't think you can see it.
That was so good.
That was sick. Even like the coughing was great. Yeah. It doesn't sound like you're drowning. I was wrong.
Good. That was on purpose. So.
And after this, Clark went home, Sam and Ella left, Anthony went, Amelia went, and it was just me, Eloise and Sage sorting out the last couple scenes. We did the shots where she's getting home from work on her own, kind of the more dark, more nighttime stuff. And at that point it just got a bit like probably too much to film in one day, just getting it done. We ended up wrapping at about 10 o'clock I think on that day, which was insane to be filming for 11 hours at a time, and I was very conscious of keeping people for that long, which was why there weren't many people left at 10 o'clock, which didn't matter because everyone was so helpful for the amount of time that they could. And then after we'd finished filming, Vienna came back and we just grabbed all of the stuff that was hers, packed all the equipment up as quick as possible, went and loaded up the car, and that was the moment for me that it kind of felt so real. There's no footage of it because we were all just wanted to get home as quick as possible, wanted to pack everything up. So no one was hanging around filming behind the scenes, but that was the point for me where it felt like this is a real thing. It felt more than like just like a student film. The point where I was carrying a piano out onto the street and loading it into a car with the seats down into the boot, and then cases and cases of equipment coming out of this location. It felt like, wow, we've like booked this location, filmed this stuff, and then packing all the equipment down and leaving. It felt like a physical kind of representation of how big the kind of achievement that we'd made was, which was a really, really nice moment for me. This is crazy. About half an hour ago, this was Erin's living space. We've just loaded 2 bootloads full of all our stuff. We're checking out for the night. This is all empty, closed up. This had all our gear and stuff in. Just doing a little check of making sure we haven't left anything down the sides. What an insane day filming. Clark Williams, the absolute legend, came for his first day filming. I'd never met Sage before we played Ellen, never met any of us before. I knew him vaguely, he knew Eloise a bit, well he knew Eloise quite a fair bit, because they've done shows together before, but never acted to film with us, and he was just incredible. He fit in so well into the group, and Sage was incredible. There's been some tough scenes today, filming wise, but it's gone so well. It's been my favourite day so far. I've just, crazy. I've loved it.